Hello, this is Jedd Hafer at the Love and Logic Institute with Dr. Charles Fay.
Hi there. Hi, Jed.
The doctor of love and logic and coffee.
Coffee, yeah, man, this is really good. I got a new mix.
Is it a new proprietary blend?
Yeah, it's a proprietary blend of day-old coffee because there was still some in the pot. I felt
you don't want
guilty.
That to go to waste.
I felt guilty pouring it out. And hot water.
Yeah.
Because I had to compensate for like all the.
You got to dilute it down a little bit. That's
and
good
then
stewardship.
hot chocolate.
Okay.
Hot chocolate mix, like that stuff that the powdery stuff in there.
That's good and good for you.
And my advice, my recommendation is that anything tastes good with hot chocolate in it. It doesn't matter what it is.
I think that's fair and accurate.
WD-40, not bad. So yeah. So what's on your mind?
This is this is one of those here podcasts everybody loves so much, and we thank you all for tuning in to this episode. I wanted to call this episode "Things I Don't Understand."
How much time do we have?
It's going to be a condensed version. It's going to be like a pamphlet version.
Yeah.
But I've been on this earth a long time. But there are some things, especially of late, that I look around and I say, what is that? I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So help me out with that.
Well, there are apps on the phone. You know, they got those new-fangled smartphones.
Right.
They have apps on there. And there's some apps that the young people are using, and I don't really know what they are or what they do, but I don't think it's good.
Yeah, so be specific.
Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Do you know what Snapchat is?
That sounds painful to me.
Yeah.
Just the name of it sounds painful.
I don't really understand it, but apparently you can.
I know what it is.
You do? Okay.
It's like you talk to someone and they bite your head off. Is that what?
It's a thing with the in-laws.
It's like a pre-marriage kind of training thing.
Snapchat. I don't think that's it.
No, okay.
I think the conversations disappear, which is not. That's not good, you know. Because I need evidence that I was right. That's the main reason I want that there.
That's right. Okay, so.
That's one I'm not big on. I'm not big on the Snapchat.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those accounts, and it looks like a little Pac-Man ghost. The little icon, it looks kind of like a little Pac-Man ghost.
Yeah, yeah.
If you see that.
What I don't understand, which I struggle with, is phones that don't have a cord. I need a cord. I need that cord to keep me grounded.
Yeah, those were so great back in the day.
Yeah, because I would walk and then it's like a dog, and then of a short leash, I would get pulled back to reality.
Did you have the one in the kitchen that was mounted and had the long cord, the extra long cord?
Yeah, and I tell you what, ours were the newer variety because you could get different colors.
Oh.
We had one that matched our refrigerator.
Was it avocado
green?
green?
There you go, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I actually dropped it once on our carpet, and I couldn't find the phone. It was...
Well, the carpet, to be fair, shag carpet's
I had
3
to
or 4
get that
inches
rake to rake the carpet to get the phone.
See what we're doing? Now there's young people watching. Well, they were watching.
You're going to have to Google that.
They don't know what the long corded phone, they don't know about the shag carpet or the avocado colored appliances. They don't know about that stuff.
And I got this car with a theft protection feature.
Uh-oh.
It's called a manual transmission.
Oh, that stick shift.
Yeah, that's old school, isn't it?
Why couldn't somebody steal it?
I don't know, but in a clutch, I guess they could.
There are fewer and fewer people that would know how to drive that, just because it's largely disappeared.
Change is good.
Change is good. So, real quick on the phone thing, I would have. You have friends that they were real talkers, that talk and talk.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I would take out that silent lull in the conversation where I knew they were going to be talking for a while. And you got to untangle because that cord gets super tangled.
Oh, man.
So you could just you hold it up and let it just untwist itself.
It's kind of a metaphor for life.
Yeah.
It's a tangled.
And you hold it and it untwists itself. And after about 30, 40 minutes, it's all completely, the tangles are out of there. And then you put it back up to your ear. They're still talking.
Yeah.
You probably had a friend like that.
Yeah. Well, we had a party line. And
oh, man.
That was awesome because all the neighbors had to share the phone line.
Yeah, now you're really going to have to explain.
And it was like the first social media thing where people were judging each other.
That's true.
And you knew people were listening.
You could
so
listen in. You hear somebody breathing.
Exactly. It's kind of like what I do in the airport once in a while, where when I'm feeling bored, I just pick up my phone. Now, there's nobody on the other end, but I just say, I say things like, tell the nurse that I'll be there as soon as I can. Keep the transplant ready for me. Kind of like I'm or my Porsche's. Is my Porsche done yet? Like that, and people think I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. That's probably, you can't read their mind, but what they're probably thinking is, no, that guy's cool.
Oh yeah,
I'm
definitely.
sure that's what they're thinking. Speaking of not being cool, here's another one I don't understand. There's I don't know if this is an app or a platform. I think it's both an app and a platform. It's called TikTok. I don't know what this is, but as near as I can understand.
Sounds timely.
Yeah, it is. As near as I can understand, it's really, really short videos that people make, and they put it to music. So you can do like you're lip syncing, or you can make a short little, like 6 or 8 seconds or something. Short little video, and it's got its own little music background.
That sounds awesome.
And what the kids have learned to do now is you can change the speed of the video.
Yeah.
So they'll put it to some really fast music, and then they speed up the video, and it looks like they're like.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Maybe you'd like that one. It's one of those things on the list of just I don't understand. I think I might be too old for that.
Yeah. Okay. What else are you too old for, Jed?
There's a lot. Most pop music. Like right now, if I turn on just a regular radio station that's like the current pop, like top 40. I don't get it.
Yeah.
A lot of it I don't get. You're probably up on all that stuff.
Yeah, but, I know all about this Marshmallow.
Yeah, that's one.
I just know his name because my son talks about him.
And apparently
he's got a marshmallow head.
Well, why
do they put the head things on?
What instrument does he play?
And then there's one with a mouse, like Dead Ma or something like that, like a mouse head.
You know more about this than me, which is frightening me. But what instrument does he play? Does he play like? Is he a flautist?
I know he's a rapper or a DJ or something like that.
He's a DJ?
Yeah, or something.
So he plays records. That's another thing the young people see. We're bouncing back here between stuff we don't understand and something that young people. Although vinyl, I think vinyl records are making a comeback.
They really are.
It's making a comeback, which that's good. See, anything old that comes back, I love to see.
It gives me hope.
I want to bring back 8-tracks. That's I'm on a mission.
Well, they were so good. I mean, they worked so well, and
and you never got, if you couldn't get over to the 8-track player to change it. Boy, you'd hear those probably 8-ish songs a lot.
I mean, where else can you go and listen to 2 songs at the same time out of the same device?
On purpose.
Yeah, on purpose. And we bought a brand new 1977 Chrysler LeBaron.
And it had an 8-track player?
It had an 8-track player.
Now you're
my
just
dad,
bragging.
I mean,
bragging.
and it had rich Corinthian leather.
Yeah,
it did. I loved that rich Corinthian leather.
They have especially good cows over there in Corinth. I guess.
And Ricardo Montalban did the commercial, but
Fantasy Island, another thing that young people just missed.
Island,
they just missed that.
Yeah, they could not redo Fantasy Island because it would be so inappropriate nowadays. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it was bordering on that at the time. If we're going to talk about 8-tracks in music, though, for 1 second, can I just be sad for all the young people because they'll never have this experience? I had a cassette player in my car, right? Cassette
Seriously?
tapes. Oh, yeah, cassette tapes.
I thought that, yeah.
And once in a while, it was cheap car stereo, so that it would spit the tape just all over the interior. It just looked like a storm of tape in there.
Right.
And many people would be sad, and they would think all was lost. But not me.
Because you
I get a pen or a pencil, wind it all back in there, good as new. I mean, there's no better feeling. There's no greater sense of self-efficacy.
That's why we have better self-concepts than younger people, right? Because we can fix players.
But I guess the reverse of that would be if anything goes wrong with my phone.
Right.
I got teenagers, and they're like, oh, give me that.
Yeah,
and they
exactly.
know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. And what is that? How can they learn that stuff so quick?
I think it's intuitive. I think now they're kind of born with it. There are rumors that Apple inserted some sort of a chip in all of our kids, like when they're babies, so they just know. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I saw that on the internet.
That sounds slanderous.
So we're bouncing between things from our era,
right,
that maybe the young people wouldn't understand, and there's plenty of things that are happening now that I don't understand. And I was even thinking back. I had a couple parents, right? I had a couple. There was stuff from their era that I didn't understand, and there was stuff from my era.
What I didn't understand, my mom would always say, "I'll bet you dollars to donuts." She would say that.
Most of their sayings made no sense.
I'll bet you dollars to donuts. Yeah. And of course, there were all those euphemisms like "for crying out loud" and "for Pete's sake."
For Pete, yeah. Who was Pete? I never knew who Pete was.
Yeah, and he was an impulsive guy. He jumped out of a boat, Started, but it was all.
They had all these sayings that I could not tell you what half of them meant.
It was a way of swearing without acting like you were swearing. That they were good at that.
Which is probably why you and I heard that coming from our parents so often.
Yeah. Well, they swore a lot because they had,
They had us.
Us, right. Yeah. So what else is on your mind, Jed?
I don't know. There are a few more things that I feel sad about the current young people.
Okay.
That they're never going to get to experience.
But you're feeling bad for them. You're not
I'm not making fun of them.
You're not one of those old guys that thinks in my day.
Everything was better back in my day.
Yeah.
When you talk about anti-theft devices.
You know what's better in my day though?
What was?
T.J. Hooker. Now that was a show.
Is that William Shatner?
Yeah, it was William Shatner. It was so much better.
Clearly the greatest actor of our time, of any time.
Yeah. And Heather Locklear and the acting and special effects were amazing in that show. And it just proves that the 70s or 80s were truly better now.
When people were driving, was there stuff going by, like scenery going by, and the people were kind of staying still? And
and the cars never had rearview mirrors when they were driving because that would get in the way of the camera. So they
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it was weird. But what were you going to say?
I can't remember now. Something that young people wouldn't understand. Oh, anti-theft device on the car. This is a real one. I don't see it anymore. The Club. Do you remember the Club?
I belong to the Club.
This is a different club.
Okay.
This is it would clamp on the steering wheel. And
they don't have those anymore?
The steering wheel wouldn't turn. No, I'm afraid not.
I have too.
One time I couldn't get mine off, and it was on my car, and I had to go. But thankfully, I was driving across Kansas. So I was able to just make it all the way across the state with the Club on there. It was fine.
That's great. Yeah, it doesn't work so good in the mountains of Colorado.
No, if you got any kind of twists and turns. And hi, friends in Kansas. We love you.
Yeah.
No, you don't see the Club very much anymore.
No. I don't understand why. It was a great
device.
parenting tool, too. I mean, I knew a guy that the kid was being disrespectful, wasn't coming home on time. She got real defiant with him. He said, I love you too much to fight with you about it. She goes out there and clubbed up the steering wheel there.
For 1995, she was able to use that as a parenting resource.
Yeah, you could get two for the same price, but you have to pay an extra little fee.
Just like anything you order on TV, you get a second one free, basically.
Yeah.
Do you have any of these things that from your time you're almost sad that young people won't get to experience?
Well, I do think that I wish that kids could experience. Well, let me think. Waiting. Do kids still wait at the bus stop?
I don't know.
I think they still do.
You mean like
so
for
kids
school?
still have a good life. Yeah,
so
they still can
happens,
be cold and suffer out there and like we did. Okay, well, what else? Do kids still have pencils?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay.
I got an issue with that though, because it's
still
been number 2 pencil, right?
Right.
It's the most popular one. Why is it number 2? I mean, if that's the number 1 pencil in the world, is the number 2 pencil. It makes no sense.
It's like the First National Bank, and I've seen First National Banks in other towns.
Yeah,
it's like they're lying. But I guess what I was getting to is kids still have the same basic needs, don't they?
They do. They just seem to have a lot of they have a lot of things sort of circumventing the inconvenience of life. Like you mentioned, waiting in a bus. There's not very many kids I know now who get a lot of practice waiting.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't have an answer. They ask this device that goes to space and gives them the answer almost instantly.
Yeah. I wish kids knew about rotary phones.
Oh, you had to have serious patience. If you had a friend with like a 9 in his number, you're like, forget that guy. I'm not calling that guy.
Yeah, exactly. It took forever, and if you messed up, like you pulled your finger out and it slipped on you, I mean, that's a whole learning experience right there.
Yes, look that up, everybody. Google rotary phones and see. I mean, truly, that was an exercise in patience.
Absolutely.
How about maps?
Map.
Think about this. Kids watching today, all they've ever done is ask their phone where something was, and the phone told them where to go. They never had to go into the glove compartment, unfold this massive thing. Dad's driving. He's probably yelling at you.
I've talked to maps before, though. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah. Dad's talking to me. I'm the navigator. It's got coffee all over it.
Right.
It's my dad's map. And it's not folded up correctly, because unless Mom did it, it's not folded up right.
They're hard to fold.
And you can't, you've got this thing, and then, 1 inch equals a mile or whatever.
Right.
And that was difficult. That was in our era. That was the thing. Like, it wasn't like that was an option. That was the only way.
Yeah, that was the only. Can you imagine that nowadays?
Well, there was one other way.
What other way?
You ask a stranger, and then if you're down south, this is the best. Everything had to relate to the food place, right? So you go past the fried chicken place, and then you turn right at the barbecue place, and that's how you find your way through. But my dad was not shy about asking strangers, but then he couldn't really remember what the stranger had said. We're back to the map, and that is not an easy thing to do when you're a young person sitting in that gigantic bench seat that passenger side.
What's freaky is when you go off the edge.
Yeah, where are you?
You can literally go off the edge with a map.
Yeah, I mean, truly, that's a skill that I think a lot of people, much younger than us, that's going to disappear.
Yeah, and but I like Siri. I do.
You do?
But I broke up with her the other day.
What happened?
Seriously, she gave me the wrong instructions to get someplace, and I was frustrated. I said some things that I know, I really didn't mean. In the heat of the moment, I said, I'm leaving you. You know what she said to me?
An electronic person.
You know what she said to me? She said, well, sayonara, hasta la vista. She said that to me.
She speaks a lot of languages.
She does. She broke up with me after I broke up with her.
I don't know that that's always healthy, though, that we just ask this artificial intelligence being for the answer. Because I've been steered very wrong. Not just figuratively, but literally. New York City, I was driving to New York City, and I was on the maps thing. Well, I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah.
But you're up on a bridge. They got a lot of bridges there.
Yeah, they do.
And, of course, you look at the little map on your screen, it looks like spaghetti, pretty much. But Siri didn't know, or the map, whatever app I was using, didn't know what level I was on.
I hear she's afraid of heights.
It told me to go right, which was off into the ocean, because it thought I was down on this other level of the bridge. I'm not explaining this well, and we've lost probably everybody.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying? There's like all these levels of bridges.
So she doesn't understand.
She thinks I'm down here and I can turn right, but I'm up here, and if I turn right, I'm just going right off into the bay.
Oh my goodness, that's bad.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I mean, some cases I think technology's better, but I guess that's what I'm really trying to say. There's a time and a place for still doing it kind of like the old way, the old-fashioned way. I like to write letters to people.
Yeah.
Put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, put it in a little slot.
I just cut mine out of magazines and stuff because it kind of freaks people out when they get a letter like that.
He's not really a serial killer or a kidnapper, I promise.
It's just fun.
It is a nice way to just get their attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's certain things, certain foods, the homemade old school way of making it is just better. I don't mean to sound like the old fuddy-duddy stuck in the past guy, but there are certain foods, it's just better making it like the old way from scratch.
Like, how about oatmeal? Oatmeal's way better. when it's made from scratch.
You can do that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you get a pot and you boil it down.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to try that. I didn't know that was available. So you take the packet and you pour it into a pot instead of into a bowl?
No, you get the round container with the Quaker dude on it.
Oh, that's a dude?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
He looks like my grandma, exactly. So
I know. But he's friendly. So you pour the oats in there and you boil it up.
It's not instant. How long does that take?
It takes a long time, and I like to get it so that you can sculpt with it. I like that really thick stuff.
So you can make a statue of some
sort.
Okay.
Yeah. It comes from being in kindergarten and paste. That's something kids don't. And now they have what are these little?
It's a glue stick.
Glue stick. I mean, when
it doesn't get on
were
everything.
kids, we could eat our projects. It was amazing.
And it came with that. If you really did it right, it had the Elmer's glue guy on the thing, and really scary looking, kind of like a monster. He looked. And then you unscrew the cap, and it's got that long stick stuck to it.
Yeah.
And then you just get that everywhere.
And the only issue with that is there's just a lot of constipated preschoolers in the nurse's office the next day.
The calories, the calories, and then
It tends to firm up inside you. It's just kind of like that stuff you put the stop leak in your radiator. It's a little bit like that, but.
So if we were going to have any, when you say what's the point of all this? Well, there isn't one. There isn't one.
But kids have the same needs. They
have the same needs.
They need somebody that believes in them. That's something that hasn't gone out of style, dude. And I said, dude,
which has gone out of style.
Yeah,
ironically,
is somebody that believes in you when you don't believe in yourself.
That's a good thing for kids to have. How about stuff that they're good at?
Stuff that they're good at.
This is one of the reasons that certain technologies and even things that can be unhealthy become so popular. I'm thinking about video games. I have kids that are like, man, this is something I'm really good at. So I am drawn to wanting to do this thing because I need to feel that sense of competency.
Right,
Is that a word?
Right. Another thing that hasn't gone out of style is wanting to connect with other people. I mean, that's a big deal. But unfortunately, sometimes the kids don't have enough connection with us.
Yeah, the how it's done, especially if it's all done through screens. I heard a neuroscientist say that that's not really matching the way that we're made. We're made to relate face to face and respond.
We're made to have limbic resonance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like when you say something I don't know what that means, I can kind of go like that, and I can make that face, and then you pick up on he doesn't know what that is.
Limbic resonance, and then I want to talk about it more. But it's just we're connected. I mean, our brains are actually, we're like tuning forks to the same, the same frequency. We're
so my
really
limbic
connected.
system is resonating with what you're saying right now,
exactly.
which is in my brain.
I mean, we're really feeling the same stuff. We're connecting, and when you're there, it is that you lose time. It's like you're talking to a friend or whatever, and then you look down and it's been, an hour. Like, wow, I had no idea. You're doing something fun with your kids, and you lose time. And wow, I
heard it starts when we're babies. You make a little face at the baby, and the baby makes a little face back.
Yeah.
And that's really important and powerful for how our brains need to develop.
And something else that hasn't really gone out of style, or what kids still need, I should say, is they need parents who are parents.
Tell me more about that.
Well, it's tempting to think all those people in the old days who said parents should be parents. In other words, parents should have a higher position of authority in the home, in a loving way. So they're not.
They should be
tyrants.
loving and strong at the same time.
They're not tyrants. They're not emotionless, just expecting blind obedience all the time.
But they are in charge.
But they're in charge.
They're the leader of the house.
Yeah, and so sadly, it's in some cases you see some communities or whatever, and of all different backgrounds, and you see that there's a good amount of parents that aren't in control, and if you want to know what that's like, it's kind of like the Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I think the Lord of the Flies was actually optimistic. I think he took a bunch of boys that age and put them together on an island. It wouldn't have gone even that well.
Yeah, I don't think it would have gone that well either. But the movie would have been a lot shorter.
Shorter movie.
I mean, it was a movie, right?
Book, movie, both.
Movie, same thing.
Kids need a leader. They need a strong adult who's a loving authority figure. That hasn't gone out of style.
Yeah, that hasn't gone out of style. What else hasn't gone out of style?
I would say our need ultimately for things to happen in the context of relationship.
Yeah.
I can be good at stuff. I can really enjoy something, but the best times happen in the context of relationship. The best learning happens in the context.
It's kind of like my dad would say, we'd be going someplace like the dump. Now that's something that every kid should experience.
Going to the dump.
Burning dump. We used to. Now I'm excited. It was great. You go in the old pickup truck, which usually costs between $150 to $200
for the pickup truck.
For the pickup truck, and you dump all your trash at this place. It was like burning. It was things were on fire, and I don't know. It's just my personality. I'd always get home with more stuff than we dropped off. It was amazing, old lampshades and stuff like that. But it was a great time. And I wish every kid could experience throwing aerosol cans into a burning heap of stuff. I mean, it was
We're gonna get letters now. I watched that Love and Logic podcast, and they said to destroy the ozone, and they said let your kid rifle through piles of burning trash. That's not what we said.
Well, no, we don't recommend it. That fun was reserved for me.
Yeah, that was fun for our generation. But the point is, in the context of relationship, you're driving to the dump with your dad.
And yeah, I lost track. I wasn't paying attention. It's probably all those fumes.
That probably did.
Yeah, I mean, it'd say, it doesn't matter what we're doing it together.
Oh wow!
And
he really said that.
He really said that. He said, and it was true. It really was.
Did that happen in black and white? I can almost see that happening like in black and white.
It did.
Okay.
There was two.
That's how long ago
it was. It was a long time ago.
Doesn't matter what we're doing as long as we're doing it together.
That's
even
right.
Though we're going
He used to say that.
Dump.
Go to the dump, and there was only one exception to that, and that was grocery shopping.
You don't do that together?
Well, he'd say it, but I never believed it. Still don't.
Now, my mom didn't. She liked me coming to the grocery store when she had to get a lot of stuff because she wanted to help carrying stuff. But did you get this? We got to go by the bakery, and if we were good, my mom was smart. She didn't know Love and Logic yet, but she'd say, if there aren't any problems while we're going through the store, then our last stop would be, what happens. You go to the bakery, free cookie.
Yeah.
And I believe if it's a good grocery store, they still do this. Kids can still go.
I think you get a free carrot
and
now.
Get a free cookie.
Things have changed.
You got to get it last. Don't go there. First of all, if you get the bread first, it gets down and it gets smushed by the stuff on top of it. But secondly, you end up at the bakery because if you've been good all the way through, that's when you can have the free cookie.
Or carrot.
That's not a reward. No offense to our
I've heard
vegan
people
watchers.
say they'll put a carrot at the end of the stick and get kids to behave.
But that's for like animals.
Okay.
People, it's cookies.
Cookies.
I think we've covered a lot of important things about traditions and about the differences in generation, but that really we're still the same. We have great respect for the generations that are before us and after us, and really, I think we can find ways to connect. Probably the best way, a nice podcast. I think that's the best way to connect.
Sit down with your kids and watch the Love and Logic podcast.
Watch or listen to, enjoy. It's
good
just
for
a
kids
lovely
to be
podcast.
Bored.
Yeah, that'll give them some of that training.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening. We love hearing from you. loveandlogic.com.
You got it.